The idea of providing basic income to everyone who need it is gaining momentum across the world. It is because of the job losses, non-availability of work, automation, crowd damage, and etc. Indian political parties have been trying to provide basic income to everyone. However, the idea of UBI, is it viable for India? Welcome. My name is Anudeep Sammeta, and in this video, we will talk about universal basic income. UBI, a guaranteed income model. Universal basic income is a guaranteed income model for providing all citizens of a region, whether it be a village, state, country, or earth, with a livable income regardless of their resources or employment status. The purpose of UBI is to prevent poverty and increase equality among citizens. The income should be periodic and it should be in the form of funds rather than goods or services, and given individually for each citizen and not for households or and irrespective of the citizen's need or willingness to work. The two types of GIM systems are UBI systems, basic income guarantee systems, and there's a third system which is called negative income tax, in which the tax is cut off. Whereas the first two concentrate on providing money directly to the targeted population, the third one is based on individual tax returns. UBI around the world. Many countries have tried UBI and found that while it provides cash to every poor citizen, it doesn't tackle the economic structural problems that keep poor remain the poor. And a 2016 referendum for introducing UBI in Switzerland was rejected with a majority of 77% of Swiss citizens. The White House chief economist Jason Furman also dismissed the introduction of UBI in US on the grounds that it could worsen the inequality. So pilots and experiments are being launched in each and every country. Some countries like Brazil and Finland have launched UBI pilot programs to monitor the success and implement it fully over the time, while other countries are just in the planning phase of UBI experiment. It has been successfully implemented in Namibia, and in India it was implemented in Madhya Pradesh, and it was implemented in Manitoba in Canada. There is also a similar program in Alaska, which has a different name, and other countries which have started experiments are Netherlands, Ontario, Uganda, and Scotland. Universal basic income in India, with about 60% of Indian population indulged in agricultural work, and due to increased farmer distress, Indian government is now looking into ways to provide them with a minimum income so that they can at least guarantee the basic needs of farmers. The concept of UBI first came into limelight in India when Chief Economic Advisor Dr. Arvind Subramanian calculated the UBI for 2016-17 as 7,620 based on economist Suresh Tendulkar's poverty line, and the survey was used to propose UBI. The survey has estimated that the UBI will cost 4.9% of India's GDP in comparison to 5.2% of GDP spent on 950 central sector and sub-sponsor schemes like subsidies. He also proposed for a quasi UBI targeting specific demographic groups like women instead of a nationwide UBI due to feasibility. UBI again came into limelight in December 2018 when Madhya Pradesh proposed UBI after the elections. Also, TRS party in Telangana offered Raitu Bandhu scheme where every farmer who owns an acre would be availed 10,000 rupees per year. On 1st February 2019, the interim finance minister of India, Piyush Goyal, announced the 2019 annual budget, which guaranteed income for farmers owning up to 2 hectares of land. All these farmers will get approximately 6,000 annually in 3 installments of 2,000. So, what are the effects of UBI over Indian economy? It can alleviate poverty, And according to economic survey conducted in 2016-17, the poverty could be brought down from 22% to 16% if UBI is implemented. The distress of farmers can be reduced as many farmers are committing suicides, and political parties are trying to waiver them off, but it is too high, so UBI would be a better option. We can The skill will develop over time as since there is a guaranteed income at regular intervals. The labor class can invest their time and money in some other resources to develop the skills, and also pay school fees for the children who in turn try to uh, work hard, and this will put a ripple effect to grow the economy. This can also be used to uh, empower women. As income is directly transferred to their bank accounts, this will help them make a better stand in society as individuals. They can further invest in small business ventures, which will seem beneficial. And finally, about MSMEs, the micro, small and small and medium enterprises can have a lot of investment from these uh, women and others who get the basic income, and overall it will improve the standard of living in India. There are some challenges which UBI is facing to implement in India. For example, feasibility. The main point of discussion is who will pay the money for UBI. The government pays economically weaker sections through taxes collected. But will the individuals pay taxes, which is their hard-earned money, for schemes that might not even reach them? Income disparity. The income diversity in India is quite prominent, and setting a price for UBI is really hard. And decrease in taxable income. Suppose an amount is set by the government, which will inevitably lead to decrease in the taxable income. This in turn will lead to a decrease in tax base for the government and eventually hamper welfare schemes with a shortage of funds and at hand to invest in them. Increase labor cost. If everyone is getting money deposited in their bank accounts, why would they work at all? So getting labor for any work would be harder. Inadequate cash transfer. In Raitu Bandhu scheme, people didn't get equal amount of money. So suppose a farmer got 20,000 rupees, whereas some other person got 50,000 rupees, which caused the scheme to encounter some controversies. If such problems exist on small scheme, the problems which we might face in larger scales would be hard, very high. So while the idea of providing money to each and every citizen to get the basic needs is correct and righteous, we face some challenges which might not be feasible in India.